Welcome to the Street Dog Podcast, brought to you by the Street Dog Coalition. We are an international nonprofit providing free medical care and related services to pets of people experiencing or at risk of homelessness. I am your host, Daria Tavana, and I'm also the Director of Development at the Street Dog Coalition. So on the podcast, if you're new, I want you to know that we explore the world of animal welfare through the eyes of experts, street dog vets, volunteers, and our sponsors. We share inspiring stories, we provide updates on our advocacy work, and we give you an inside look at the challenges and rewards of working to improve the lives of animals belonging to people experiencing or at risk of homelessness. So if you're tuning in live on Facebook, you know the drill. It's great to have you here. Go ahead, drop an emoji in the comments, say hi. Let us know if you're a cat person, a dog person, a bunny person, all of the above. I've been in a very chicken mood lately. I'm a chicken person. I'm getting a lot of content on Instagram directed to me about cute, smart chickens. So whatever you're into, no judgment, let us know. And if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, please make sure that you're following the Street Dog Coalition on Facebook so that you can also tune in live every episode. That allows us to engage with one another in real time, which always makes me and our guests really happy. Okay, speaking of our guests, on today's episode, we have three very, very special guests from one of our legacy sponsors, Western Veterinary Partners. I want to start off by saying that all these individuals are incredible and they really feel like members of the Street Dog Coalition family. So, Western Veterinary Partners is a veterinary support organization that partners with leading veterinarians throughout the United States. At Western Veterinary Partners, they focus on people, and I can say this with confidence. They believe that the most successful partnerships are built on collaboration and trust and keeping people at the center of every decision. They really strive to foster connection and cultivate a community for veterinarians and veterinary professionals to share knowledge and best practices. And their mission and values guide everything that they do and play a big part in how they engage with their practices and the broader veterinary profession. They are a huge supporter of the Street Dog Coalition family, and we will get more into that throughout this episode. And I actually want to give a very brief rundown about each of our guests because they're so lovely and humble, and would not expect them to speak this of themselves. So here they are. So we first and foremost have Carollee Brinkman. She's the CEO of Western Veterinary Partners with over 20 years of healthcare industry experience. She has held senior executive management roles in companies like Surgery Partners and National Surgical Healthcare. Carollee has a degree in healthcare and business administration from Concordia College. Jen Abram is with us. She is the Director of Business Development at Western Veterinary Partners. She has spent the last decade in animal health, providing medical and business solutions to veterinarians and their staff. Jen has worked with companies like Zoetis and Kindred Bio, focusing on improving the health and welfare of animals. And of course, we cannot forget Dr. Doug McInnis is with us as well. He is the VP of Veterinary Leadership at Western Veterinary Partners. He grew up on a farm, which inspired him to pursue a veterinary career. He has been actively involved in organized veterinary medicine, serving in various leadership positions at local, state, and national levels. Doug is dedicated to his profession, of course, community service, and fostering interest in the veterinary field among students. Here they are. Yay. How was that introduction, guys? Did I capture everything?
That was awesome.
Yeah,
You got it.
It's really, really lovely to have you all here. It's so exciting to just be a part of your energy. You guys have done such incredible work for a lot of veterinarians that I know. And of course, you are the Street Dog Coalition's biggest cheerleaders. And I'm just thrilled to have you. So thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So let's dive into some questions here. So, okay, where should we start? why don't you guys, one or all of you, if you could give us a little bit of insight into Western Veterinary Partners, what exactly is Western Veterinary Partners? And maybe you can also use this as an opportunity to tell us about your partnership with the Street Dog Coalition.
Yeah, well, sure. Well, thank you. And
welcome.
first and foremost, thank you for having us on. We're just so delighted to have an opportunity to really talk about, how we came to partner with Street Dog Coalition. But before I kind of launch into that, you did an exceptional job describing our organization. So, Western Veterinary Partners does just that. We're a veterinary support organization. We're located in Denver, Colorado. And as you said, we're all about the people, right? And so for us, it's very important to partner with great veterinarians across the US. And what we do for them is that we give them time back. And they get to spend that time doing the things they love, which is caring for clients and caring for pets. And we just kind of take care of all the business administrative stuff that they really just don't like to do. And so it's really a win-win partnership. And, I think my entire team is just having the time of their life, kind of improving their lives. And that's kind of the mission of our organization. And so we started in 2019. And last year, as a group, we started saying to ourselves, it's the time in the company's life where we want to give back. And so where should we do that? And so, we spent a lot of time kind of exploring different partnerships. And, I think with anything in life, what happens is that the stars align and kind of point you to the right partnership. And so we'll talk about those relationships a little bit with Jen and a few other people. But we just kept coming back to Street Dog and with Dr. Geller and Dr. Hillary Wheeler, who's, the medical director for the Western half of the US. And it just was that partnership that made sense for us. And, I think everybody knows it was so hard over COVID for our doctors and their team members, right? And, we said to ourselves, we just have to find a relationship where not only do we donate financially, it's very easy to do that, right? But we actually donate our time, and it also fulfills our heart and fills us up because we're helping people and we're helping the pets of people that, may not always be able to take care of them. And so it just was such a win-win relationship for us.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Thanks, Carollee. I really appreciate that. And I have to say, for those of you who are listening who might not be fully familiar with Western Veterinary Partners' fabulousness, it's really true. I think that your company is really unique. While there's no harm in simply writing a check, of course, we love checks. Your ability to collaborate with us, sometimes anticipate our needs before we anticipate our needs, and provide this support that is, of course, really professional, but also so friendly. I was telling this to this panel of guests before we even went live. I was like, you guys are always just so happy, and it makes my day. It's really incredible to be a part of this partnership. And it's incredible to hear from you guys what it means to you. And I'm wondering, as a legacy sponsor of the Street Dog Coalition, what does it mean to your organization to be able to contribute to our mission of providing this medical care and support to pets of people experiencing homelessness?
Yeah, I think, I think we always have to pause as to, why we're in the veterinary industry, right? And the reason people come in this industry is to help pets. It's that simple. And so, for us, this just is such a great opportunity to not only help the pets of people who are at risk of homelessness or are homeless, and also realizing that these pets are their bright light every day, right? And so for us to be able to kind of facilitate that help, but then, in a selfish way, we probably get more out of it, right? Because our people go to these clinics and it just fills your heart up and it makes you feel good, and it brings teams together, and it's such a great culture builder. And so again, it's just it's a win-win as we kind of look at this. And so, Doug's going to talk a little bit about how we're going to be able to really kind of expand the presence, because we operate in 34 states and we have a lot of people saying, I want to be a part of this. This is a great thing.
Yeah. I love that. I really appreciate that. And I have to say that whenever I had the fortune of being able to connect with you in person at the AVMA conference, your enthusiasm and your investment in our organization was really palpable. And I've noticed that a lot of people that volunteer at our street clinics, they get what Dr. Hillary Wheeler always talks about, our medical director, which is this helping high, this feeling of giving and giving and giving without the expectation of receiving, simply because it's the right thing to do, simply because I'm sure all of you guys have, pets in your lives or used to have pets in your lives that mean so much to you. And it's very easy, I think, for us in particular, to just imagine ourselves in the shoes of someone that's struggling financially, but really wants to be there for their pet. So I really appreciate that, Carollee. Thanks for shining a light on that. And maybe you can share with us a bit more about how Western Veterinary Partners has seen the impact of the Street Dog Coalition's work in the communities that you serve, and how does this align with your own values and your own goals individually, as an organization? I always love asking questions like this, like what is the impact that you're seeing, and what does it mean to you personally?
Yeah, well, I'll take this one, and thanks for the question first off. But before I get there, I do want to tell you that I definitely get the chicken thing. We have a lot of those as well, and I'm there with you. So
they're so
perfect.
Cute.
Yes, they are.
I'm so glad.
Yeah,
Thank God I'm not alone. Thank you, Doug. They're so cute and they're so sassy.
They are. They're awesome. Yeah. But back to kind of values. This really gets back to the root of why we partnered with Street Dogs. Our values really align, and as you mentioned, you can really palpate or feel the energy when we come together. And I think together we can do great things. And so some of our core values, obviously improving the lives of those we serve. And that includes both veterinarians, team members, animals, pets, and everyone really. There's no prejudice there. And so being at these events, it really does give you that high. You really are there. It's something you want to do again, and you can't wait for the next one. And so I think that energy is what Dr. Wheeler feels, and how she's gotten involved, and just what we're able to give back to the communities and improve the lives of everyone. And then I think Jen also can account for this, where we were when Street Dog started, really. And how she was on the ground with Dr. Geller, knocking on doors, getting the backing with this. And so we really feel like this partnership was meant to be really from a long time before we were even an organization.
It was kind of serendipitous the way it all came together recently. So it truly is a grassroots effort, right? In 2012, when I was with Zoetis, and I think around 2015, he was just, starting up Street Dog Coalition. And I remember knocking on doors, like Doug said, I think we were knocking on some shelters in Boulder, some churches, trying to assess what the need would be for the community. And we found there was a tremendous need for support for those animals. And so at the time, again, I had been with Zoetis, and they were generous and were able to donate vaccines, parasiticides. And so we kind of slowly built a little network here in Colorado. And then we kind of started to network across the country with different representatives who could secure vaccines and product, coupled with some of the practices around the country to help. So it slowly grew over the years. And it's been really impactful for my family. Like my kiddos are in college now, and one graduated, but my daughter wrote an essay to get into to CU Boulder about the impact of volunteering at one of these clinics, and how it really connected her to the community. It was a lens that she had never seen, connecting with the people at the end of the leash, what they were going through, and being able to help and impact their lives. So it's been an incredible journey for us. And then it was just serendipitous about a year ago as we were talking, and Dr. McInnis, knew of he was working with AVMA and Street Dog, and then Dr. Hillary Wheeler, who is one of our partners, was involved. So it really came full circle. And so I'm really proud to be a part of this and to see how much it's grown.
I love that. And it wouldn't be an episode of the Street Dog podcast if someone did not share a throwback memory of them and Dr. John Geller, who, for those of you who don't know, is of course our founder and our national director. And it's just, it's funny, John, I didn't know that you had that connection with John, but now that I hear it, I am totally not surprised, as many people have that connection. Also, I don't know if you can hear this, but my cat is having some extreme zoomies right now and is chasing a ball around. Okay. So if you do hear it, that's what it is. And if you don't hear it, then this comment never happened. So thank you, Jen. I really appreciate that. And I'm wondering, Jen, you just did an incredible job at this. Do you, or does anybody else, can you share any specific stories or experiences that kind of highlight the significance of the services that we provide at the Street Dog Coalition and the impact it has had on the lives of both pets and their owners?
Yeah, I guess I'll start with, again, our infancy in our partnership here, just recently starting, but really, we had a relationship before, as Jen mentioned. So I think it's been touching our lives for quite a while. But the recent event at the AVMA meeting, where we were able to help out and assist, really as our first WVP partnership legacy sponsorship, and we were all energized to help out there. And it was a great event held next to the convention center, and just seeing the people that came in and those that we were able to help, it's really touching. And as you said, I think we get that volunteer high off of that, and it becomes infectious. So it's just great to be able to help people and pets, again, serving both ends of the leash, being able to provide the food for those that were homeless or those that were bringing their pets in, and then providing the services to the pets too. And one of our own veterinarians, Ashley Ackley, was there at the event, and she helped lead that event there.
She's amazing.
Yeah, and just again, more of this partnership. I didn't even know that she was going to be there at that event until we
wow.
So, it's another bond that we have. It was just awesome. So.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Doug. And I think what's so cool about these services that we provide is, I don't know, sometimes I get stuck in this rhythm of like, we help people, like we are like, we're saving them, we're rescuing them. But what's really cool is you learn very quickly at these clinics that we are simply providing an opportunity for these individuals to help themselves, for these individuals to help their animals. Like it's not like, people who are struggling financially don't want to help their animals. If anything, they probably want to help them more than the average person. So it's really, I think, delightful to have the opportunity, which you guys help us do in more ways than one, to just simply open the door for these individuals and invite them to walk through it, right? They're already standing behind that door. They're already ready to get help for themselves and their pets. As far as I'm concerned, they're the ones doing most of the work. We kind of just show up and do the rest. So I don't know why that just dropped in for me, but I really wanted to kind of piggyback off of what you were saying and share that, because I'm sure you guys kind of feel the same way, is that we are simply allowing individuals, or rather inviting them to help themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. So maybe one of you fabulous guests can shine a light on some ways that you see the Street Dog Coalition making a lasting difference in the field of animal welfare. And how does Western Veterinary Partners kind of envision continuing to support this important work in the future?
Who wants to?
I'll hop in and then Dr. McInnis can join. But we're pretty excited. So in 2 weeks, we have what we call our Elevate Leadership Summit, and we're bringing together all of our hospital medical directors and hospital managers. So we're going to have well over 300 people in attendance for this event. And if you will, it is our big launch for Street Dog Coalition. And we're going to be spending a lot of time with all of our doctors and team members, really kind of bringing them up to speed on the great opportunities that they have to participate in this organization. And as I said, right now we're in 34 states. So we cover a lot of territory in the US that can provide services of doctors, volunteers, supplies, et cetera. And I think what we're going to see is there's just going to be, again, the helping high, and it's going to get contagious. And we're really going to see, a lot of people raising their hand to be a part of this.
Yeah, and I guess one thing to me that always has struck me, and started really when I was in veterinary school at Washington State University. I went to Oregon State and Washington State, but Dr. Leo Bustad, where there's an animal welfare award about the human-animal bond given out, and he was the dean at the time. And that human-animal bond is where I really understood what that meant, and I think that brings all of us together. So that bond we have with our animals and our pets, and it really gets back to the reasons of why we're all here together. And so that does help, foster this program as we grow and expand out into helping existing teams out there and with street dog events, but also bringing new teams together. And we're excited to kind of start some new teams in areas of the country that have not yet been served. So to me, that's exciting to be part of an organization on both ends with Street Dog and Western as we launch that and expand. I know we're talking about the US here, but my first dealings with Street Dog was actually with the Ukraine efforts as I was part of the AVMA Foundation, and as we were giving in those efforts as they continue today. So, pet human-animal bond issues are not just local, national, but they're international and something we can all come together on.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was your first foray into the world of the Street Dog Coalition. That's awesome. And it's been really rewarding to learn how many new supporters and volunteers that media attention we've received through our efforts in Ukraine, which just felt like a pipe dream at one time. So that's awesome. Thanks, Doug. I appreciate that. And is there anything else you can kind of shine a light on in terms of what's next for WVP and the Street Dog Coalition? Maybe there's something I don't even know that's in the works. Where do you see this partnership, this relationship going even beyond September?
Yeah. We already talked about our veterinarians and our veterinary teams at our different practice locations. But I think another piece of this that it helps bring us together as well as a team. And maybe Jen can talk on this, and that's our corporate employees, those that are in Denver and those that are around the country, because not all of our employees are in Denver, even though we're based there. So this allows them to become part of something and part of our team and bring together our practices and employees. So Jen, I don't know how you feel about that, but if you want to chime in.
I think it's a great opportunity to collaborate internally as a team and getting that helping high as a team as well. Across the country, we'll be starting to facilitate different groups and teams to create those clinics. We're also going to be partnering with Merck as well at the street dog or at the street clinic level. So there's an opportunity to connect with our industry partners as well. And so it's it's such a nice way to build rapport, gain collaboration amongst teammates, and again, give back. And so it's such a great partnership. And I think it's going to continue to evolve. We'll probably get more creative with what we can do as we move forward and grow. But for me, it's been incredible to see it come full circle from a grassroots, knocking on a few doors to now it's an international organization. So Dr. Geller's, built a tremendous legacy, and we hope to continue that on for him and work with him there.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Jen. We love Dr. Geller here. We love
do.
Dr. Geller. We really do. And I know a lot of people who are tuning into this episode. A lot of people who listen, they are veterinarians. Some of them have their own small practices, or they're lead veterinarians at other small practices. So I want to maybe give you a little opportunity before I send you all off on your day to, if someone is listening to this, and if someone is thinking to themselves, wow, the idea of me just being able to treat animals and having this opportunity to worry a bit less about all this heavy administrative work, all of the financial burdens that come with having my own practice, and maybe they're considering, reaching out to you, considering collaborating with Western Veterinary Partners. What message do you have for someone like that who is listening, who is a potential person to kind of come under your wing, and what are the next steps for them? How can they go about doing that and partnering with you?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we always say is, again, we are a people-centric business. And so, if there's a veterinarian out there that is looking to partner with a group of people that, we pride ourselves on high integrity and really following through on our promises. And so if that's an important component to individuals looking for a partner, I think we're the best one out there to do that. And, they can simply reach out, and Jen can share kind of our information page to kind of contact us. But, we're all about the relationship, and we're all about the partnership. That's simply the most important thing to us, because that just breeds success for everyone.
Yeah. That's awesome. And I know I've said this maybe 10 million and one times now on this podcast episode, but that's just totally true. It really is. I have never received a canned response about anything from anyone at your organization. The enthusiasm that you have, not only for our mission at the Street Dog Coalition, but also just for animals, just for keeping pets with their people, for helping veterinarians, for lightening the load that individuals who, work at veterinary practices experience. It's really something unique, and it's something that I've never seen anywhere else. And I just know that people who reach out to you from the first interaction they have with your organization, I truly believe that they will feel that way as well. And Jen, if someone is interested in learning more, can they reach out to you? Can they just go to Western Veterinary Partners' website and fill out a little contact form?
Absolutely. I'd probably go into our website is the best bet. Yes, to westernvetpartners.com, and then we'll go from there. And there's an easy inquiry they can fill out, and we'll make sure to respond right away.
That's amazing. I have to imagine that someone listening to this episode will do that. So if you're on the fence about doing it, please do it. And if you're on the fence about volunteering with the Street Dog Coalition, please also volunteer. You have two things to add to your to-do list now: is reaching out to WVP and coming down to your next local Street Dog Coalition clinic to volunteer, to experience that helping high that we all know and love so much. And I really want to just take this moment to thank all three of you from the bottom of my paw print heart. As you see right here, I'm wearing my Western Veterinary Partners gear. Do not leave home without it. I was saying earlier, beautiful rainbow on the back. But in all seriousness, you guys are amazing. We truly love you so much here at the Street Dog Coalition. And it's been beautiful giving our listeners the opportunity to also fall in love with your organization. And I want to thank you again for your time and for everything that you do for us.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you all so much. And thank you all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I'll be sure to catch you on the next episode of the Street Dog Podcast.
All right.